Hello, 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 everybody. It is Saturday. I don't know what to do with my hands. But yeah, so yeah, it's a special kind of a makeup stream today. My wife will be joining us here in a few minutes. She's just finishing getting ready because, you know, no streamer is ever ready. You can't be active in chat because of work, but you're lurking. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, Riptar. Always appreciate people hanging out. But yeah, my wife will be here in a few minutes. We're going to be talking kind of about our story, about stuff we've gone through, things that, you guys are free to ask questions as we go through today. All my alerts and everything are going to be working like normal. I'm not going to be doing Stream Raiders today, so let me turn that off. Hey, look, she's here.
Hello.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
Riptar's here. He's lurking. He's at work, so he's just lurking in chat. But yeah, I was just explaining to everybody that we're kind of going to be discussing our story, things for Infant Loss Awareness Month, things that I'm going to turn this way.
Okay.
You look like
right?
what? No, that's why I'm turning this way, so I can look at my wife.
He's a mess.
This is why I need 200 mics. I told them that you said, how many mics do you need?
I know. I told him, where's my mic? I just like the headphone one.
But I can't do it. Hello, Hope. We've got one of our fur babies in here because they cannot stand the fact of us sitting next to each other. Especially Hope. I am going to set up a separate camera eventually for Faith because Faith is laying on the ground on her bed. It's going to be a Faith cam. What's wrong, baby?
I can't see that, so you're going to have to
Want the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it over here?
Yeah.
Yes? I know you can't see this one. Was that what you were looking at?
Yeah, I didn't know that was the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same over here. That's why I put it over here. Would you rather have it on this side?
No.
No?
I think I'm going to have to get glasses. It's too small.
Then go get your glasses.
I don't want to.
Go get your... I'm wearing my glasses.
I don't want to.
And our glasses match.
I don't want
Get your glasses.
to. So is everybody enjoying their Saturday? So happy it's Saturday.
I'm old.
We both are old.
I can't... I unplugged the TV or else I'd put it up on the TV.
I'm like, can we get old people font? Move it up?
I mean, maybe. I can see if I can get it bigger. You could read it here, too. Oh, wait. Set font size.
I hate it. Sorry. Hopefully it's almost over? Or did it just start?
You're at work. Oh.
We'll try to distract you.
Yes. We'll try to be at least a little bit entertaining and distract you a little bit. Do you want me to go get your glasses?
No. I'm okay.
Started about 4 hours ago. Hopefully,
but are you on an 8-hour shift? 12-hour?
That's what I was gonna say.
2-day. How many hour shift are you at?
Because Wes was on a 15-hour shift. You'll listen to you guys and maybe make me eat some more salty licorice for viewing pleasure. Okay.
Gross.
Wes was on a 15. Yeah, I felt bad for him.
Not it. Not it. I look like I have dark lipstick on, and I have none.
Let me adjust the lighting real quick.
It's okay.
Let me just turn on the here. Now let's do this. Is that better?
No.
No.
Turn it back off. It's too bright.
It's too bright. See, this is why I need...
Well, thank you. I'll put the lipstick back on.
The lipstick looks hella good with your eye makeup.
Thank you.
But yes, so like I said, today is just gonna be a little bit different day. We're not really playing any games or anything. Maybe after we're done talking we will, but for right now,
because God knows we cannot put Twitch on without playing a game. I wanted to do
I married this woman.
a Facebook Live, and he's like, no, let's go on Twitch where all my friends are at. So
yes.
he wanted to come talk to you guys. So.
Facebook Live is irritating and super slow.
Hello.
Hello, Skriller. How are you doing today? I'll do some of my normal promotions. Skriller and Riptar that are hanging out back here are part of my buddy group. We could play Among Us together. It's free on the phone. You know, true. Thank you, Monran.
What would have happened if you would just listen to me? If you even cared, you'd actually be here. Oh my God. This is what I had to do.
That one gets me. But yes, everyone, Riptar and Skriller Wolf are part of my T-San buddy group this week. Please go check them out. If you like what you see, give them a follow. All support is good support. And for some reason, that just stuck on the screen forever, covering my wife's face.
It's okay. I was back here looking at my phone.
Well, there you go. So some of the things we just kind of want to talk about today. We do have some subjects. I was hoping, if this does well, we may do some other, things like this in the
Let's start with one. Can we just finish the one?
Oh, goodness.
He's been dying to have me in here, and I don't have anything to say.
It got weird. Of course it got weird. Yeah, so first thing, we kind of want to talk about, since it is Infant Loss Awareness Month, there is a lot of people that go through infertility. A lot of people have problems getting pregnant, whether it be the male's fault, whether it be the female's fault. It's really.
Can we not say fault?
That's what I was going to say. You interrupted me.
So why did you use that phrase and then say don't use that phrase? It's not fault.
It's not fault. It's the word that came to my mind when I said it. I was saying, as I finish my sentence, whether it's the male's fault or the female's fault, but really it's nobody's fault, because a lot of times it can be just a nature thing. It can just be some of your chemicals are imbalanced. And
hi, Jasmine and Joey. I don't know who it is, but hi to both of you.
Hello.
But yes, it has. Yes, nature's fault.
It's nature's fault.
So yeah.
Matt says you need to come on more often and roast me. It's Jasmine's fault.
You guys, he gets so mad. I try to keep it to a minimum because I want to stay married. Because he gets so salty. He can't handle it.
In case you don't remember, back when I used to start streaming, she used to sit on the couch next to me and roast me all the time.
Oh, he would get so mad. He would get off there and be like, "Why would you do that?" So
Danger and Monran definitely know about that.
But yeah, stupid nature. Some of it has to do with, liking to eat.
Yeah,
so.
some of it's due to your diet, some of it's due to overeating, some of it's due to just the way your body genetics.
Nature.
Yeah, exactly. Handles chemicals. Bettina has had.
So for me, mine is polycystic ovary syndrome. It's basically where my ovaries, they make eggs, but they don't know where to go. So they go everywhere but where they're supposed to go. It is really affected by diet. And if I was on like keto, low carb, I probably would be doing a lot better. But my favorite food group is carb. It's not even a food group, but I made it my own. So,
Brianna, thank you for the follow. Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you. So that's my struggle. So, I found out that I had polycystic ovaries when I was around 11 years old. And so I have known about it now for a little over 20 years. So, going into it when we first even met, I'm like, I want a family, but it's going to be hard. And so if that's not for you, it's not for you. So.
Yeah. And, throughout my whole life, I was always, I want kids. I would love to have kids. And then in my first marriage, she didn't want kids at all. So I was very like, okay, I don't want kids.
Yes.
You just saw Bettina.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then I met Bettina, and it changed everything. I absolutely wanted to have kids, and she said it was going to be a challenge, and I'm 100% down for the challenge. So we had to, we had a crazy, we met. It was, do we want to go to this whole story?
I love that look. He's like, so how much, that look was, how much are we really going to say?
We currently only have the 2 little angels right now.
Yeah. How do you show them? What button is
3.
that?
Oh, here, I'm gonna zoom in without the Yoda music, but right now they're sitting right there next to Yoda. What?
It's dark.
What? Let me move it. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Let me move it there. They're sitting there next to Yoda, but let me change the light a little bit.
How rude.
How rude.
How rude. Whoa, belly shot, belly shot, belly shot.
Is that better?
A little bit.
That's
Not
the best
really.
we can do.
Okay, that's the best we can do.
Listen, I'm a fat boy.
I know. I told him how many times to have this set right. You can see me in this little window. Do you see me? Hey, you should turn around.
Turn around. I can still turn around.
But look, this is our awesome shirt we got from the race that has our girls' names on it and everybody's names on it. So this is all of our peeps. All of our peeps. Aw, we love you too. And they love you too. And they love Nehemiah in heaven. So back to the eyes. That whole glance was, are we really going to say what we really are going to say? So
our story was that...
Drink your liquid.
Yes. It reminds us to stay hydrated because talking a lot will dehydrate you.
Oh my God, and if this guy tells a story, we'll be here till next year.
We'll just leave it at this. We met online.
Yes.
And we met at Denny's. We met online. We decided to meet at Denny's, and it was no strings, no nothing. We were just like, hey, let's just get together and talk. And we talked for like 3 hours. And then didn't talk again for like 6 months. And then I hit her up on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, you remember me? That night in Denny's? And she's like, oh. Of course it wasn't strings, it was a Denny's. Shut up. But yeah, and so from that point, we kind of started talking like almost every day, and then just fell for each other, and I moved back out here. You enjoy long, detailed stories, so if you're here until next year, we're here until next year.
Oh my God.
But
my God, you would get along with this guy.
Yeah, I tell stories that go on all the tangents.
I'm like, what is even the point of the story? Because there's 19 sub-stories, and I already forgot what we were even talking about. But yes.
Matt, you know. This is how I tell stories. But yeah, so and then, moved out here, got engaged, got married, and started doing all the medical stuff we needed to, getting tested, getting my swimmers tested, getting all your stuff tested.
We actually started trying prior to getting married and started testing prior to that. So as soon as we got engaged is when we started. So by the time we were married, we had already done 4 rounds of Clomid. Brianna does long stories too.
And Clomid is?
So Clomid is a medication that makes your eggs grow, and it's supposed to make you ovulate, but it did not work for me. So we just kept upping the medication and had horrible side effects, had to lay in bed with horrible migraines. It was horrible medication. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. So then we got married and we wanted to move straight to IVF because I didn't feel IUI was right for us because I didn't see how moving his swimmers closer to my ovaries is going to make the ovaries make the eggs come out. So like in my brain, my problem is that the eggs can't come out. So IVF, they literally pump you full a ton of drugs. Like you are like the most pregnant, non-pregnant person ever. And I had what was called kissing ovaries, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're not on that part yet, but we got married in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
We had fairly good insurance. We had something that was called like a safety net insurance. It was only meant for like emergency surgeries and things like that.
Yeah.
But I found an awesome loophole in there that they covered infertility coverage once per lifetime if you met the annual deductible. So that meant our annual deductible, which was $6,550, would cover everything. And if you know anything about IVF, $6,550 was like
Just
chump change.
it's
like
literally
nothing.
just the medication.
Yes, insurance is horrible, but it was awesome that we found that loophole because we were able to do a round of IVF only on that one deductible. But it took us 2 years to save. We did GoFundMe. We did fundraising in order to get that. When we first met, we both were in a lot of debt. So student loans and credit card loans and all kinds of stuff. So we are still working through debt and then saving up for IVF. Also paying for Clomid rounds and monitoring and things like that. It costs along the way too. So anyhow, it took us 2 years. And some awesome family and friends that donated money to us to be able to do it.
Yes.
So that's how we got to IVF.
Yeah, and so you see, Riptar feels crazy grateful. Well, Skriller said that insurance drives her bonkers.
Yeah.
Riptar's crazy grateful the insurance that he has, is able to sacrifice a lot for it, but happy he'll never have to worry about medical bills. Which,
Yeah, that is awesome. I think for us,
military.
Yeah, you're working really hard for that insurance, though. I work in an office, dealing with attitudes and snotty people.
Same.
Totally different than what you're having to deal with. So you deserve that.
Yes. Going back just a second, some of the terms that you use, the IUI, IVF, some people may not know exactly what those means. So IUI is uterine insemination. So they basically take my swimmers, put them closer to your ovaries, and hope that will
they meet
help.
And they do what nature is supposed to do. But remember, back to my story, my ovaries don't let the eggs out, so they just stay home. So
yeah,
we decided to not waste our money on that since we only had one treatment per lifetime. So IVF
is I don't remember what that one stands for. In vitro fertilization.
Yes. I'm like, really? Okay. Get the Google out.
Google.
So basically what that is it back to like what I was saying is that IVF is where they pump you full of a ton of medications and they try to get as many eggs mature and ready to go. So I had kissing ovaries. They were so huge they were touching each other. Yes, exactly.
You were way off on IVF. Riptar, what did you think IVF stood for? While you're typing that...
In the vagina functioning.
You're lucky to still be on the parents' insurance or oof. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible host because, again, a lot of people know intravenous fertilization. I mean, you know, kind of close.
Yeah, it's not in your veins, though. It's in your vagina. Sorry.
In vagina fertilization. No. But yeah, I'm a horrible host. A lot of you know of my wife. She comes in and roasts me every so often. This is Bettina Bruce. As Brianna said, she saw Bettina going live on her Instagram page. So if you want to follow my wife on Instagram, that is our Facebook page. I hit the wrong button because I'm a dumbass.
So that's where we have all of our baby stuff from all of the shots. Oh, there's some good videos on there. Go back to our videos and watch how hard it was for Shannon to administer the shots. It was so funny. Funny.
Oh, that's fun. So this is my wife's Instagram page. If you want to follow her, she does post quite a bit about
grief,
her.
Loss.
Yes.
The suckiness of infertility.
Yes, how baby Bruce got there.
Yes, so that's my favorite.
If you guys want to see those,
They're so good, right,
We can
Brianna?
pull some of them
my
up
God.
later. But yeah, I mean, this is also a Q&A too. So as we're going through,
I checked my Instagram before I got on, and I didn't have any questions.
Okay.
So we figured we would just talk, and then if you had questions, you would come ask, and if not, then maybe you'll just listen to 19 side stories and
exactly. But
try
yeah,
to get this.
if you have questions as we're going through, please feel free to ask. We'll be happy to answer anything. We're an open book, as you'd see from the Facebook group or the Facebook page we have. We've been open from all the positives, all the negatives. We're just trying to talk about everything for everyone to join in.
Yep. So it's like infant loss, infertility, all of that month. So we're talking about it all. I never would have thought we would have had to deal with it all when we first met in that internet, whatever we'll call it that.
It was on Craigslist.
So on Craigslist, I never thought that I would be going down this road with my husband.
So, as we were discussing that part of the IVF process is giving you a lot of shots.
And then they go in and literally manually take them out with a little vacuum sucker tube thing.
And how many eggs did you give out?
So we pulled...
Wait. What's the average number?
So the average number is between 6 and 12. PCOS people, because we don't have a lot of ovulation, we generally have a lot of eggs. They'll have around 20. We pulled 31. So that doctor tried to kill me. And that's just about Craigslist.
It's more for another day. Yes, it is.
No, that story is so funny. Okay. So they pulled 31 eggs. Of the 31, 26 of them were mature. And that's another thing with PCOS. There's a lot of eggs normally, but they're not mature. They're just little bitty baby eggs. And so for this to be able to have 26 out of 31, that was amazing. Little did we know that the keto that we were doing for the 6 months prior to IVF was like awesome for egg quality, egg maturity, that type of thing. So we were able to pull 26. Of the 26, 20 of them made it to day 5. And so that is really awesome. If they're not doing very well, they will freeze them on day 3. So they have a greater chance of survival. But ours were looking great on day 3. And only 6 of them died during the 5-day process. And why I say die is because when a sperm meets an embryo, it is a baby, in my opinion. And so we have technically lost 10 babies. Technically. But 2 of them I actually carried to 21 weeks, and we'll talk about them later.
Yeah. So after they went through the 5 days,
I was like, what is that?
If you see anything from that, it's just my bot stuff, and I forgot to turn it off.
Okay, focus.
So a lot of the things that we've talked about. So 5 days. Then they freeze the embryos.
Yes. And then normally they don't freeze them. I should have said that in the beginning. Normally, if you are one of the ones that do 6 to 12 eggs, then at day 5, they will then put the embryo back in you. And actually, it's, I don't know. It depends on what literature you read. For certain people, it's better to do fresh. Certain people like me, it's better to do frozen, because I was so swollen, and I actually ended up getting something that's called over hyperstimulation syndrome, where once they pulled out the eggs, then where the eggs are at, the body fills out those spots. So those 31 spots that they pulled out, my body filled with fluid. And it actually then literally makes you feel like you're pregnant, because it pushes all your organs up and you can't breathe and you're sick. I thought I was going to die.
She was miserable.
That is pretty much the sickest I've ever been in my life. And I had a great nurse right here, making me soup, holding my hair when I was sick, all of that fun stuff. So back to the story. I was over hyperstimulated. I had a lot of fluid going on, and they do not want to put an embryo back in that. It's really hostile for the embryo to go into an area, a uterus that's like that. So we did a frozen. Oh my gosh. You would like never want to let him come back home. He's a very good maid, nurse, all of those things. So yes, but no, you can't borrow him. I'm sorry.
As you see, she's got her drink here. I'm here in my office. She will be in the living room, which is right next to the kitchen. But I will hear the sound of shaking ice and come and get her more water. Because I worked in restaurants for, I can't even, decades. And so, the shaking ice asshole customer.
That's me. I'm in the shaking ass icehole customer. Rude.
Shaking ass icehole customer? Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Oh my god.
But yeah, so we pull all the eggs out. Wait.
What does that mean?
My wife doesn't understand memes, so she's like, "What does that mean?
Like,
I don't get it."
I was like,
"Hi, zombie. How are you doing?"
I was like, what
shaking ice hole.
Now you have a new phrase. You're welcome. And if you're around me too long, you literally will have all kinds of phrases because I make my own all the time.
Like, when I run around and bump into stuff.
He's a bull in a china cabinet.
Yeah.
He hates that.
You have no motivation to do your work. I feel that. It's Saturday.
Oh my gosh. Well, good. You're listening to us. Where were we?
So, you were... China cabinets are super cramped.
Thank you. And there's a lot of china in there. And it's breakable if you bump around. So, oh my god. We've literally had fights over that phrase because it is not cabinet, it is china shop. That's what I say.
Words mean things. So anyway.
So because of the swelling, back to the story. Oh my god, that's the other thing. He gets on tangents. We had to take like a month off just to recuperate and get rid of all the swelling and all the fluids. So when you have over hyperstimulation, you have to eat a lot of protein, no carbs, and a bunch of electrolytes.
Which again, we were doing keto at the time, so that wasn't too hard to do.
Yep, and it was fine. So then we did a frozen embryo transfer, and for that you basically trick your body into thinking that first, for me, I don't have a period, so I have to trick my body into having a period, then trick my body into thinking I'm ovulating. They give you medication that makes your body go into certain phases. So if you know anything about the women's body, estrogen starts to go a certain way, progesterone starts to go a certain way, and they manipulate that by giving you medication and shots.
Lots of shots.
And suppositories.
Oh, yes.
And not in your bum suppositories either. So, fun stuff going on when you're doing IVF. It's not just what the other families get to do to have a baby. So, TMI. Sorry. We should have put a TMI warning on this.
Okay, first off, this channel is listed as 18+.
Okay, because I'm like, oh, Lord.
Zombie knows all the things. Health studies major.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. So they basically just trick your body into it, and basically like a little bitty straw, and they ask you your name, make sure that's your baby they're putting back in you, and then they do that, and you lay there with a full bladder. So they look at it on the ultrasound with your bladder and make sure that they're putting the baby in the right spot in your uterus, and we did that on June 8th. 2018. Then 9 days later they test your blood, and that happened to be on Father's Day 2018. So my very first ever positive blood pregnancy test was on Father's Day, and it was so awesome.
We were out to dinner with
breakfast.
Out to breakfast with my parents.
Because we got up all super early because, like, the lab opened at, like, 7:30. We wanted to be there, like, as soon as that was the day, like, we were there. So they were like, we'll meet for breakfast after we're done. Sorry, keep going.
No, it's fine. Because so we went to, it was Father's Day, went to my dad's favorite restaurant, which is the bowling alley. Mossman's. They actually catered our wedding. See, here I go on a tangent. But, you know, went there for breakfast. It was my mom, my dad, my brother, his wife. And while we were sitting there, you got that email.
It was the call.
Oh.
It was the doctor. I saw the email and he called, like, literally at the same time. So the way Kaiser works is both people get the message at the same time.
Yes.
The doctor and you get the results at the same time. So back to your story. Oh. He called and he said, I got some good news. I can't see. What?
I even made it bigger.
Oh.
I have to read all the chat to her because she doesn't want to put her glasses on. Brianna's asking if I'm from here. Yes, I was born and raised here in Bakersfield, but I moved out to North Carolina for like 10 years and then moved back because of this wonderful woman.
Yep. So he's back. I brought him back to his family.
Yep, because all of my family and everyone's here. So
I
got the phone call.
Yes, and the doctor says, looks like we got some good news. And I said, yes, I just saw that the email came through. And he says, congratulations, you're pregnant. And we just were so excited. Oh my God, excited wasn't even like, my mind was blown. Because prior to that, we had been testing at home. So I started testing 4 days after transfer, which was way too early. And it was negative, and I was sad, and it didn't work, and, you know, whatever. And then day 5, there was like, if you know anything about pregnancy tests, there's like a line, but then there could be like not a line. It's like an indent, like an evaporation line. And I'm like, no. So then by day 6, we had an actual positive pregnancy test. And then so the blood test, we were so excited. So then they make you go every other day to make sure it's doubling.
Right.
And then the second one, which was 2 days after Father's Day, which would have been a Tuesday, it doubled. It was great. We were so excited. And that's when we then announced. No, actually, we announced on Father's Day. We announced
as soon as we knew.
Yes. Yeah, dye run, exactly.
That better.
It was probably line eyes, or it was probably evaporation. I don't know. It was not there, but it was there.
We saw
6,
a little
something
exactly there.
And I was doing the whole like put your ring on it and like zoom and then like do the negative like black like what is it like dark light thing to see if you can see it. Yeah, reverse the image. All those crazy things. So anyhow, 2 days later, the blood was still good. And then he says, okay, well, I think they wait 3 days or 4 days. And then that's when I got the call. I was actually at work and I didn't have time to check the blood result. And he called me and he's like, it's not looking good. Your numbers aren't doing good. And I instantly like started bawling and like in a blob of crying, and my boss came in and she's like, are you okay? What's wrong? And I was like, I'm losing my baby. I need to go home. And I was just crying so bad. And so I went home. I told him. We went home and we just went home and grieved together. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Didn't end up miscarrying until my mom's birthday, which was June 27th. So about 10 days after the first blood test was when the miscarriage started. So did all that at home, went to lots of more blood tests because Kaiser makes you go all the way down to 0 on your blood test. So we had to keep doing it. And then there was this weird like spike. It went from like, I don't even remember the numbers. I should have them up. But it was like, the first one was like 90, and then it was like 200 and 400, and then, no, 90, 200, then it went like 100, and then it went like 500, then it went like 5,000, and we're like, oh my God, the baby's gonna survive. So started taking the medicine again, and we went to emergency doctor's appointment, and he's like, there should be, a heartbeat by now, because by that point we would have been around 7 weeks. He said, there's only a sac there. There's no heartbeat. There's no, pole, tad line, whatever he had called it. I can't remember the exact term. So we knew at that point that my body just hadn't figured it out yet, that, yes, we do go crazy trying to look for lines. And then, yes, miscarriages are so so it was only like where the embryo basically implanted but didn't start growing. So it was only the sac. So no tadpole, no heartbeat, nothing. And so I was afraid I was gonna have to do a DNC. But literally right after that appointment, like the day we got home from going down south to see that doctor, I started bleeding really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I ended up passing the baby the day that we got back from the doctor.
Which was, you said
my mom's birthday around that time.
Yeah.
So, then we did blood tests. We ended up getting it back down to 0. So at that point, remind you, we had already 2 years to pay and scrape and fundraise and try to get to this. And we only had once in a lifetime shot. So now what?
Well, and we fought that too, because your insurance didn't say. There was nothing in her paperwork that said it was once in a lifetime. It just said it covers this.
Yep.
And so
we did appeals and grievances, and
they said, well, it's our policy that it's once in a lifetime. And we asked so many times, show us in writing where it says that's the policy. They never could.
Asked for the underwriting. It was horrible. We fought and fought. So we then had someone reach out to us that was willing to loan us the money to do a second round. And so through our fertility clinic, if you're a cash paying patient, they charge you $4,000 to do a one embryo transfer. That's not the medication. That's only the ultrasounds and the actual transfer.
Right.
So we took a loan out for $5,000, paid the $4,000 to the clinic, and then it was about $1,000 for the medications that you need. You're on usually 3 types of medication. You're on estrogen pills, you're on progesterone suppositories, and usually on progesterone intramuscular, so in your hip or thigh, muscle shots. So it was $5,000 for our second transfer. We started that in October 2018, and so gave us a couple months to regroup, grieve the loss of our first baby.
Yeah.
I never thought I would ever get pregnant my entire life. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I never thought I would. And so to be pregnant and for it to actually work, everyone's just like, oh, IVF is no guarantee. And for it to work, it was just so awesome for it to work, but then not work,
Right. It worked, but it didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So we emotionally repaired, started back in October. And then we transferred 2 more embryos on October 22nd. And so we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary. Of transferring Amelia.
Hang on. Let me zoom into it.
There we go. Transferring them. So
there's Amelia and Carmela. This is actually their urn right here next to Yoda in front of Rocket, and this little 2 angel babies in angel wings. So this is what we have as their urn. We just decided to bring them in.
So the star of the show.
Yeah, so if anyone does the Yoda command, it is going to zoom in on our babies today.
So, I don't know if we mentioned this. We didn't. That our doctor wasn't in Bakersfield. It was in Hollywood.
Yes.
So, every appointment meant getting up at 3 a.m., getting on the freeway by 3:30, so we can get into Hollywood and be ready for our appointment by 6:30.
Oh, it's the channel point for Yoda?
So that meant every appointment, and there you go. That's how I feel about them too.
They deserve channel points.
Aw, that's so cute.
That zombie's little thing. It's a zombie head eating a heart. Oh!
Oh god. Wow.
There's Riptar. Don't do the thing? Okay, I won't do the thing.
I'm like, what happened? I can't even see. I'm like, I can't read that fast.
Riptar just donated 5 subs to the channel.
Aw, thank you.
Which is fantastic. 5 subs that went to Skriller, Doc Fitzy, Brianna, Anthony, and Wapsy. So you are all subscribers to the channel.
Thank you. You're so awesome.
Thank you, Riptar. You said don't do the thing, so no licorice for these today. I'm gonna jump in and say one more thing real quick. You're amazing, and I think that you'll spare me today. I need to check something real quick. I'm gonna derail this conversation for just a second because I was noticing something the other day that I need to double check right now. I'm not saying to do anything because I don't want you to. But, oh, no, never mind.
Does anybody know what he's talking about?
No.
Okay.
It looks like, at the moment, I'm like, I don't even know. I'm a few subs away from getting that last emote slot. But I don't know exactly how many because it hasn't updated. So, it's fine. Don't worry about it. No. Don't. No.
We don't know. I don't know how to read this, or I would tell you.
She doesn't know.
I don't even know what we're doing.
You'll like to see the jelly beans? Would you rather me do jelly beans, like some Bean Boozled instead of the salty licorice? They're on the other desk.
I say no.
You say no? Bettina's got to eat some too.
No.
No?
No, I don't wanna.
Okay, we'll do the jelly beans for you later, Jasmine. You have 3 emote slots, you have a 4th one unlocked, but the laptop's broken. Have they not still... enjoy your day during the conversation? I appreciate it, Riptar. I do.
Thank you.
But yeah, we'll do the jelly beans in a little bit. So, as we said, our doctor was down in LA, and...
So IVF is usually every other day going down there. They have to monitor everything, make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to do. So we did that the whole month of October 2018. The girls were where they were supposed to be, back in my belly, October 22nd. And our blood test date was Halloween 2018.
Yep.
So, what is that?
It's music. It's just music.
I was like, what are you doing? Now he's dancing.
I'm dancing because we were talking about Halloween. It's just
Halloween,
music in the background.
It's annoying.
I'll change the song, yo.
Like, it's like a kid playing on hitting a something.
Look, I'm just trying to do...
Focus. Back to the story.
I'm just trying to do the lo-fi stuff as opposed to, like...
So we were pregnant on Halloween. That's the day we found out.
Yep.
2018. I was so excited. We told everybody. And then on the day it was supposed to, 2 days later, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It little over doubled.
I gotcha, zombie.
Yes. I was like, what is that? Oh, okay. Sounded like something was broken. And then 3 days later, or 4 days later, whatever they have you do, it was like, it really doubled. It went way high. And so we were like, oh my god, it's gonna be twins, and ha ha ha, oh my god, it's gonna be twins.
Because we were joking, because it's
the whole way. No. So
I need to pull up that video, don't I, while you're talking about it?
Yeah, I need to sit up, because my face keeps going over here behind this thing.
I know.
Somebody's big old logo, right here, is in my face. Anyhow, so we found out on, thank you, November 16th, that there were twins. So we had like everyone on this little group on our Facebook Messenger, like ready to tell them, ready to send them pictures, let them know. But I will never forget the look on Shannon's face when they said twins. And I just like, it was crazy. Can they see that?
No, I'm going to pull it up so they can see it.
I was like, how did...
Give me 1 second. Let's switch over here.
Oh, we're going over here.
Yes, so now you can see the video. So this is, I'm also going to pause the music for a moment.
Oh, because the audio is the best.
And let's see if we can hear this.
Whatever it is. 2.
What?
It's 2.
It's 2. And I said, what?
And you heard me slap my leg.
Oh, you're fine.
And this was us showing the 2 embryos for the first time.
Yeah.
Hers, what?
Yep. And it wasn't 2 embryos. It was 2 babies.
Yes.
Because we saw heartbeats that day.
Yep.
And I just cannot tell you the feeling of knowing we had been farther than we had ever been before. And so that day, we told everyone, sent all the videos, posted online, told everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was just so awesome, so amazing. And then right after that is when I downloaded this little picture that told you if you made it to 7 weeks, your risk of miscarriage was 90%. If you made it to 7.5 weeks, it's 89 or whatever. And so each week we checked off and we started doing weekly bump dates because I wanted to celebrate early. That's why we told everyone early. We started doing belly, which I'm fat, you didn't see anything, around I think 8 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, because I wanted to celebrate them. There's so much to be celebrated. There's our numbers. That's the last baby. So we did weekly pictures. I checked off all the marks. We hit the 12-week mark, and that's like when it significantly jumps down. And we hit the 15-week mark, and it jumps down even more. And then come January 2019 is when we were going to find out what they were. So
yes.
All of our family were there. We found the place that had the most amount of people. We literally had every single spot filled with friends and family.
Looking to see if I can.
Yeah,
I think it was these.
Yeah, all of those. So, just trying to post videos here.
Videos. But yeah, so this was us. You know, the audio's not really super important here, but this was literally a big screen. Like, they had a projector going, so we had a room full of like 12 people there, of friends
like
and family.
20-something.
It was 20-something people, parents, siblings.
It was like a little wedding party, birthday
It was,
thing.
and so they were all able to be in the room while she was on the bed getting ultrasounded. I'm over there next to her holding her hand, and we're just, you know, and everyone's seeing, and they're just explaining, you know, this is when we found out what the
yeah, we all found out together.
This was our gender reveal. We didn't do the big explosions and everything like that. We literally...
Brianna said it exactly. Everyone was so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. If we could have fit more people in there, we would have probably had more people in there. But it was such an awesome moment.
They move around a lot.
I know. I don't want to watch that.
Okay. I'm gonna take it off.
I can only watch it for a little bit, and
I know.
it just hurts so bad.
It does.
So, I can't talk.
I know. So
Your turn.
So I'm gonna talk for a little bit. So yes, so we had everybody in. We had everybody. You know, we were so excited. We found out we were having 2 girls.
Yes. I had thought up to 2 days before that it was a boy and a girl. So yes, I know. Brianna was so excited. She was like, "Have you found out yet?" And I was like, "No, I will tell you as soon as I know." Yes,
I love you.
I love you too. So up to 2 days before,
yep,
I had totally mother's intuition had said a boy and a girl. So we had a boy and a girl name.
It was gonna be Carmela Jean because Carmela is named after her grandfather Carmel, and Jean is her mother's middle name. My mother and my sister's middle name.
So we love family names.
Yes. And then the boys, what did we have? Was it Bo?
We're not going to tell that name.
Oh, sorry. I've already talked about those names.
I'm just kidding.
But yes, Carmela Jean.
And our boy is going to be Bo Monroe.
Yes, Bo Monroe Bruce.
So, anyhow.
And, you know, as soon as we found out it was two girls.
Right before. Remember, I was bugging you. I was like, we need 2 girls' names and we need 2 boys' names, but I really feel like we need 2 girls' names. I felt it, like the switch. And so, it was 2 girls.
And I kept saying, we could still stick with Bo Monroe because Bo can be a girl's name, Bo Derek, you know, things like that. But you're like, no, I want Bo to be a boy.
I want Bo to be a boy. So.
And so, we were just throwing names around. You know, both of us have a grandmother named Ethel May. They're not related. But my grandmother on my mom's side was named Ethel May. Your grandmother on your mom's side was named Ethel. No, your dad's side was named Ethel May. And so, you know, we're like, well, but we didn't want to name anyone Ethel. And then I just kind of.
I'm sorry, Grandma, but I couldn't do it to a kid.
And
like,
so
I just
the name Amelia has always kind of stuck with us for different reasons, like just hearing it on TV. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, why don't we name, you know, if we have 2 girls, we'll have the second one as Amelia May. And because your middle name is May, both of our grandmother's middle name was May.
I have several cousins. My very special cousin Tabitha, her middle name is May, and that's why I decided to spell it like that. Because mine is M-A-Y and hers is M-A-E. Mm-hmm. So that's why Amelia's is spelled like that.
Exactly. And so so we were like, okay, if we have 2 girls, the second one's going to be Amelia May. Because you didn't want it to be Amelia Ethel May, because then through all the schools and all the paperwork we have to fill out, putting all those names on there for so much. We already have Carmela Jean, who's going to be a long one.
Yes.
And so then we found out, you know, that they were 2 girls. And did we announce the names there?
No, we actually didn't announce because we didn't know. It took us all the way till the end of January. I looked it up the other day, and it was January 31st. Oh,
that's right, because we still wanted to get a double or a second opinion about it being 2 girls.
Oh, yes.
Because we were there, and we're like, okay,
story.
Yeah. So we were there at the ultrasound place with all the family and everything, and we were cool, but at the same time we were looking at the pictures and we're like, man, that could be a boy. It was kind of fuzzy. It wasn't really sure, you know, as far as like what we were seeing. Neither of us were 100% certain with what they gave. So there was another ultrasound place in town, so we went there with. My dad wasn't able to be at the big family one because he just doesn't like big groups.
Yeah.
So we went to another one, which was right next to my parents' house, with just my mom and my dad and us. And
a way better machine.
Better
quality. But the room was smaller, so that's why we chose not to use them for the gender reveal.
And my dad, as soon as you get up on the bed, my dad's like, is she going to be right here while we're doing it? Thinking that it's going to be like some sort of internal ultrasound or something.
Back in his day, women went in the back to do that kind of stuff. So.
And he was like, what? But yeah, so we were there, and my dad, we got definitely a for sure ultrasound that it was 2 girls. There was no doubt at that point because of the pictures were so
Amelia
clear.
kept putting her hand on the placenta and pushing against the wand. It was so cute. And then at one point they turned around and actually like sat on the wand, and we're like, nope, they're girls. We're good. Totally saw everything we needed to see.
Yeah.
We did the 4D and saw everything we needed to see.
Yeah.
So then that's when we're like, okay, we need to pick names. And we announced on January 31st, 2019.
that we were going to have Amelia May and Carmela Jean Bruce.
Yep. So everything's going good. The whole time I was pregnant, I fought morning sickness.
Oh.
It was horrible. I mean, I was one of those plus size pregnancies where I lost weight. I actually had lost around 25 pounds during my 21 weeks of being pregnant, just from morning sickness and being, it was horrible. So we went all the way to anatomy scan because we wanted to make sure everything was going good. So we did it semi-early. We did anatomy at like 19 weeks and 6 days. They usually do it at 20 weeks and kind of above for Kaiser, but we wanted to do it early. So we did it early, but they weren't able to see everything.
Yeah, and they said it was because... I forgot why. Like, he didn't say it was because you were overweight.
He didn't want to say that.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, we're just not able to see everything.
He's like, we just need to wait for them to get a little bit bigger.
But he said everything looked fine.
Yeah.
Everything was good. And then, just 2 weeks later.
Not even. It was 9 days later.
9 days later.
So, the day before... what did we call it? The hell weekend? It was a long weekend. It was like a week. But
I was thinking I was gonna write the Thursday from hell on there because it was a Thursday.
But the day before that, I actually had this big work event and I had to move tables and chairs and I really way overdid it. And so that night, I feel like I pulled a muscle. You know about it, that there's this muscle from your side to your pelvis, and you pull or move it a certain way, which I had already injured it once earlier in my pregnancy from turning over in bed, mind you. Easy stuff.
Oh, plus you've also fallen once early in the pregnancy.
Yes, I did do that. Back in December, I slipped on a wet curb, and I did like the splits and was in the hospital and to check on the baby. So all throughout the pregnancy, we got to see them all the time. So we have all kinds of videos
constantly
and
something happened.
Memories of them. So I ended up ordering that night on Amazon a belly band, like a brace for my stomach, because I thought I had hurt my back. Well, the next day I couldn't get out of bed. Like, it took everything for me to get out of bed. I had to like bend over and kind of like hold the bed to walk. Little did I know I was in labor. I didn't know I was in labor, but I was in labor. I went to work. I went to the bank for work. The first time I knew it was a contraction is when I couldn't talk. And I had to like bend over and hold on to the counter at the bank. And I'm like, I'm in labor. So I call the Kaiser nurse. She's like, we can't get you a doctor's appointment. You just need to go straight to the hospital. I go home, meet him there. We go to the hospital. We're walking up. We're laughing. You're like,
just joking.
You have a stomach muscle. You're coming to labor and delivery for a stomach muscle.
You've just got gas.
Yeah, because you always hear all these stories about women having false labor, but it's really gas or heartburn or And so I had actually read this book during the first of my pregnancy, and it's called the Supernatural Pregnancy or Supernatural Delivery, something like that. And it's basically like hypno birth kind of thing. And so I had planned on using that up until my C-section. So mind over matter. I have a very high pain tolerance. So I'm fine. You suck it up. You're just pregnant with what the doctor would tell me all the time. So we're laughing. We go in there. And the doctor has me do a urine test, and then that's when I notice I'm spotting. I wasn't spotting before. Nothing going on except for these weird contraction-like feeling pains. It was like a stomach pain. So then I was like, that's not good. Why am I spotting? I'm almost 20, I'm a little over 21 weeks. Why am I spotting? So she tries to do the Doppler. When we lay down, they can't find it. Of course, I'm obese. They're not going to find it. They put the bands on you, the two different ones. They can't find anything. I'm too fat for that, too. So she's like, I got to get the doctor. They're the only ones that could do an ultrasound. So the doctor comes in, you can't find the heartbeat? Well, we're going to get it right now. So
the Doppler, they use sound waves, like, the Doppler effect. To have the sound waves go into the uterus and come back out, and it measures the heartbeat. So if you get right on the right spot, you can actually hear the heartbeat, but you have to get exactly lined up. And
being overweight, you can't find that through all the fat.
Right.
That's how it is. So he started doing the ultrasound, and he's like, clicking of the tongue, the long, deep breath. And I'm just like, I thought they were dead because I know infant loss. I'm just thinking he's about to look over and turn to me and tell me, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat. And he just kept saying, "Oh, geez,
Yeah.
this is bad," or something like that.
Yeah.
So, this is not good. Something like that. And I'm like, I instantly knew. And
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. And so then he said, "We're going to have to do an exam." And so then I was like, okay, well then that's good, right? You're, checking everything. He's like, "No, it's not looking good. Your cervix is still long," which is the end of the female body at the end of the uterus. It's still long, but it's open and the bag is actually bulging. So that's when he was able to feel it. And it was like, "Yep, you're in labor." So then that's when they instantly turned me basically not upside down, but head down, feet up, trying to get gravity to get the bag to go back in.
Yeah, if a normal bed is flat like this, her bed, if this is her feet, was like this.
Yeah.
So she's,
upside down. So they start me on magnesium to stop the labor that makes your whole body feel like you're on fire. And be like you're gonna throw up. So, and then at that point I hadn't ate all day. I was upside down. I laid on a gurney. Yeah. The news of hearing something wrong is just it'll forever be in our brains. It's forever in my brain, but it's weird that I don't know exact details, but the feeling, the moment, the
OGs is what sticks to me. Hey, Jordan, how you doing?
Though, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you by your real name. I apologize. But hello, Doc. I'm super emotional right now, so I couldn't control myself. I'm sorry. But yeah, so as far as like a lot of the details, she remembers things that I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember things that she doesn't remember. Like I said, the OGs of him, the doctor saying that is just burned into my memory. I cannot ever forget that.
Yeah. So he didn't really know what was going on once he started talking about bag bulging, and he's like, "What does that mean?" So as the doctor walked out, I'm kind of explaining, and I'm like, "This is not good. This means a baby's coming right now." There's like nothing they can do. And they kept using the phrase, "We'll let nature take its course. There's not much we can do. They're too young. Our machinery is not that small." I know.
She's already been crying.
I'm trying to keep it together. I'm fine. Everything's fine. No, that's what they tell you to do. Yeah. Yeah. So we start on all the medications. I lay on a gurney for 9 hours. I don't know if you know anything about a gurney. The pad is like this big. And So upside down on that gurney, I was like ready to do and in labor, ready to do anything. The hospital was super full. They didn't have a room, but we didn't know that because they knew that our babies were not going to make it. They put us in the, double door room. I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like a
Yeah, it's a positive,
air enforcement.
Positive airflow. So that nothing, like no germs or anything can get into the room.
Yeah,
it's
positive pressure.
Yes. Positive pressure. Yeah.
So trying to keep the outside germs out and our germs in that room, and also as much as possible so we wouldn't hear other babies being born that were alive.
Yeah.
We still heard it through the walls, the monitors going. I'm so sorry. I want to hug you. Try to keep it together till the end. No. So we could hear the monitors. We heard babies being born, crying. And so the next day, Shannon tries to go to work, and he barely makes it to work, a couple of hours, and then that's when my water breaks.
Because you've been throwing up, right?
Yeah. So at that point, I had been throwing up for the magnesium. And just one of the times that I got sick, my water broke. And so I knew then at that point that we had timeline. So normally water breaks, you have about 24 hours. But then I had a nurse come in and she's like, "No, that's can't, that is not the end." And she's like, "I've known of people that broke early and then the body will reseal and the body will regenerate fluid, and they've made it all the way to the end, you can do this." And so we were praying. We had prayer chains going everywhere. We were posting it. Please pray for us. I truly thought and believed that God was going to save us. I thought God was going to reseal the bag, and the baby was going to go back, because at that point, Carmela still had all her fluid, and Amelia
Still had a heartbeat.
And so that was like every ultrasound, we still saw her heart pumping, and she was still going. And so it was just like, at that point, no fluid. So Shannon left work, came to be with me. I was sick all day, trying to fight labor. I didn't know it was labor at that time. It just literally felt like the worst stomach flu of my life. I have anterior placenta, so the placenta's on the front, the babies are on the back, and it was all just like back pain. All I felt was just like I had the worst backache ever. So they kept saying, are you having contractions? Because the monitors wouldn't work to see if I even had contractions because of my weight. So they kept asking me, and I'm like, no, I'm not having contractions, I'm fine. I just got stomach ache. Can I have some like Imodium or something? No, I was in labor. So we then, the day that they were born, so March 2nd was the day Amelia was born. That day, he had gone home to take a nap. They came in and they did an ultrasound. Both babies still had a heartbeat, but at that point, I was having a lot of pressure. So feeling all that, then the doctor would not come in and check me. So I was telling him, you need to come back down here, and he wouldn't wake up. He was sleeping.
I was dead. I couldn't sleep at the hospital just because there was always people there. There was always something going on. I didn't want to leave, but she told me I need to leave to go to sleep so I can be there for her.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't wake up. Strong. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to give birth without him here. He ended up making it back. And then the doctor came in. Yes, I know. We always tell our stories so Jasmine and Brianna. Jasmine is from our support group. Brianna and I went to high school. And we're all in a support group together now, for grief and infant loss, miscarriage, stillborn.
And we'll talk about it more later, but if you want some information on the support group, that's the link to the foundation. They have a support group called the Silent Cry.
Yes. So when you first go to support group, you tell your whole story. And it's really awesome because you don't get to tell your story very often. Other people get to talk about their live children and their birth and how everything went. But when your baby dies, they don't want to hear that story. They don't want to see you cry. And they don't want to hear about a baby dying. But babies die every single day. And that's what this shirt is. 1 in 60 are born still. So, one little bee baby right here. Wrong hand. Bee baby, 1 in 60 are born still. So that's what this shirt is for.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so the doctor came in and was not believing that I was actually in labor and needed to push, but I needed to push. So the doctor had to help assist get Amelia out. You know our story. Amelia was born with a non-compatible with life birth defect, anencephaly. We did not know that the whole pregnancy. None of our ultrasounds were, noted that just due to my weight, they did not notice it. But us now going back and looking at ultrasounds, we see it. We know exactly what we're looking at. We know what they missed, and it's just so horrible. So we give birth to Amelia. The doctor takes her away and turns the back and says, did the doctor tell you anything about her head? And then was trying to give her to the nurse like she's like a little dead baby cat or something.
He said,
just here, get it away from me,
Were you told about the deformity? Is what he said.
Yeah, and so we're like, what are you talking about? And so at that point, they take her away and try to clean her up. And so they give her back to me, and then that's when I know exactly what it is. I had seen, and it's just, I think, a God thing. I had watched another anencephaly family that their baby actually lived, and I think he lived until 8 or 9. But anyhow, so I had already had knowledge of what it was. So as soon as I saw her, I knew. So right before I was about to push, the nurse asked me, do you want to bring in a photographer? Do you want them to come down and take pictures? My sister is a photographer, and said, do you want me to go get my camera? And at that point, I couldn't even fathom taking a picture of a dead baby. Like, why would you do that? Why? But now I feel so horrible that we only have the limited number of
cell phone photos.
We have no videos at all.
No videos
of them being, even Carmela being alive. She was alive. We could have recorded it. It just in my mind and just how I've known about loss, I was one of those people that didn't want to hear about dead people, didn't want to hear about dead babies, I guess. It just hurt me so much. And so I did not want all that. So there's very few pictures of us. We all got to hold her. So thank you. We probably need it right now.
Yeah.
So we all got to hold her, and then we were hopeful and praying that my labor was going to stop because, they're twins. They don't have to come at the same time. They have their own sacs. They have their own placentas. So we tried to put off labor again, but at that point, they didn't want to put me back on magnesium because that's what was making me throw up, and that was what was making me break my water. So, yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you don't think about until later. Or until you get into this community of loss and you see that it's socially acceptable, that you're normal, it's not morbid, and so I think those were the thoughts that came to my mind, like, you're morbid for even wanting that, And so, and even the way they treated her was that she was like medical waste just due to her deformity. So she wasn't wrapped up in a baby blanket. She didn't have a hat put on her. She didn't get the opportunity. Some people, once your baby's born, you get to bathe them, things like that. And so she was literally on a rag, like one of the little rags that they use in the ER. And so many of my photos, just looking back, she literally looks like medical waste.
Because they didn't care.
They didn't care. And so I've seen other babies that were smaller that were treated with way more dignity than our daughter was treated.
Oh, you have no idea, Doc.
Yeah, so we've vocally spoke out about that in different, what do you call them? To the social worker. We did it on the survey. So talking about the treatment was just horrible. We talk about it in our support group, and then she's taken it back to the hospital that she works with and told them how we've been treated.
Yeah, because the head of our support group in the Noelle Alexandria Foundation is actually on a board that speaks to almost every hospital in the area about how to handle this kind of stuff.
I found out later, though, that the girl, thank you for the hugs, we love them all. The nurse that was working our night that they were born was an ER nurse. She was not a labor and delivery nurse. She was sent over there. She did not know the protocols. She did not know the grief tactics. I don't even know what other, lack of a better word that there is. Didn't know what she was supposed to do. She just knew how to keep a person alive and deal with an emergency situation. And so that's why I think that it was like the emergency, the rags, and as opposed to humanizing them and putting them in a blanket or making them, so. Yeah, that is hard. Being able to decide if you want to share those photos. If it was up to me, the photos would be out there.
Yeah.
Shannon and my family and his family do not want the photos out there.
I'm fine with it if you want to put them out there. There are babies. I'm fine sharing them.
He's come a long way.
I don't want other people to get offended. You know, and that's just me. Like I personally won't show them on my stream because I just don't.
Yeah. So they don't know exactly, they didn't know the procedures or the ethics of it exactly. So we have asked, and we're still fighting to be able to speak to them ourselves. And I don't know, just to get our voice out, just how we were treated was not acceptable.
Correct.
So, back to the long weekend. So try to go to sleep. We send all of our family home except for my sister and him. And we all try to sleep. So he tried to sleep on the couch. My sister's trying to sleep on the floor. I'm trying to sleep, and I just cannot stop getting sick. So, yes, those are my babies. Yes. And so I share them like in private messages to people in my family, things like that, but we haven't posted them online. There has been other people that I've known that their babies' photos have been stolen, and they've used them for GoFundMes and
that's
things
kind
like
of
that.
Another reason.
So kind of that, I do understand that too, but
I
And another reason is for her dignity, I don't want her picture shown as medical waste.
Yep.
She does not look like a baby. She does not. Ugh. This makes me so frustrated.
It's why she had someone commissioned to do a pencil drawing of the two girls together, because we never got any pictures of the two of them together.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is because they were born 5 hours apart.
And we have stickers made for them as well.
Yeah, you can't see that, but
I know you can't see that. But it's on my Redbubble page, which if you go down in my tabs, you can click on Redbubble, and there's a whole thing of stuff for the babies.
Yeah. So 5 hours later, I could not stop getting sick, and my labor was just going fast as ever. We found out that when he was trying to help Amelia get out, so if you don't know about anencephaly, we should have talked about that. It's where the brain and the skull do not form, and so they have eyeballs, and basically they're missing from the forehead back. And so because of that, that's what a baby needs to be able to leave the womb, is that hard skull to leave. So he had to help get her out, drag her out, and in that process, he actually broke Carmela's water.
And honestly, I don't know if I've said this to you before.
No.
Because I remember when when Amelia came out, there was a rush of fluid from the bag breaking.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did that or if Amelia's bag, or if Carmela's bag was already broken, but it was Amelia's seal.
Yeah,
holding the water in.
Yeah. So a bunch of water. We lost Carmela water at that point. So she was born on March the 3rd, 2019 at 1:20. So she was immediately given to me. She was given in a different rag. Well, not in the blue rag, but she was given a white rag. So, I mean, we're moving up.
It was still a rag.
Still a rag. She was immediately given to me because she was born alive. So I forgot to say she came out feet first. So I'm saying, I need to push. We need to go. Come on, call the doctor. So the nurse comes in. She calls the doctor, and she's like, the feet are hanging out. The feet are hanging out.
The doctor didn't believe it.
The doctor didn't believe it. The feet, she said it 3 times. And I'm like doing the, if you've ever been in labor, you're doing the whole try not to be in labor thing. Try not to, but your body does whatever it's going to do. You just, So the baby was born as he was walking in, right?
Yeah. Carmela was already out when he came in.
So the nurse delivered the baby. Yeah, she was way small. It was like a slip and slide. Woo! No, I'm just kidding. Lord forgive me.
We have dark humor.
We really do.
We can joke about it.
We are in therapy. We are okay. So the baby was born before the doctor got there, and then they instantly, cut the cord. Did you cut the cord?
I didn't.
No, they didn't even offer. That was the other
No.
thing. Didn't offer to cut the cord. They weren't going to leave.
know if they offered. No, I don't think they offered for me to cut the cord. The doctor just like, boop, 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 just done.
Yeah. Yeah. So they gave her to me, and her heart was beating. So when they're that small, they have very thin skin. You can see everything in their body.
Their lungs are not
developed. So her mouth was only opening a little bit, but she wasn't breathing. She couldn't breathe. Her eyes were sealed shut. Her heart was beating, and I could not hold her. It just, for lack of better, it freaked me out. Like, I just knew I couldn't help her, and I knew that I just could not hold her.
You were holding her. You were holding her. She moved.
Yeah.
And you freaked out, and the nurse was like, "No, it's just her going through." And you're like, "I can't right now.
I can't. I couldn't." She felt like to me like they should be trying to save her. Her heart is beating. She's trying to breathe. And so, like, I knew that they weren't going to save her. They didn't even bring the NICU in. And so.
They didn't bring the NICU in until, like, an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
After she had already passed.
Yeah.
And it was just to come in and check and make sure her heart stopped beating.
Yeah. So, we passed her all around. We got all kinds of photos. My sister sang to her. And then my sister finally, if you've ever been in the hospital, they have the little warmers, and they're all covered, usually in saran wrap and all that. They didn't even open that for our babies, mind you. They put them on the little trays, like, literally like they were medical waste. So my sister was like, F this, and she opened it up, got a baby blanket out, laid Carmela down in there until she passed away, was saying to her. And so...
My biggest regret, even though I held both of our babies, was not...
Okay, so there's a big discussion about that.
Yes.
So now, since the girls have been born, we have seen one case of a baby that was born literally at 21 weeks on the day, and he has now survived, lived through the NICU, is home. But I have also seen other people that were born around 22 weeks that have lifelong, debilitating, non-existent life from birth defects, brain bleeds, a lung disease.
Yeah, just from
all kinds of things. So, yes, if we were in a hospital that was equipped for that, they could have been saved. But the
quality of life, more than likely, would have been it would be better not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So we're kind of glad it happened the way it did, but at the same time, at the time we definitely...
so many complications, especially with having being twin pregnancy. They were smaller than they should have been at the whatever gestation, so they were smaller at that point.
Right.
What else? They said that at that hospital they don't even help until 24 weeks, so we were like way too early. There is other hospitals that are meant to help around 22 weeks, so if we were there, we could have got help.
Possibly.
The best solution would have been to stop labor and hopefully have her stay inside a couple more weeks, and she would have made it. So many what ifs, so many things we could have changed. It is so heartbreaking. But I ultimately, and please don't unfollow my husband for saying this, but I ultimately believe in a God that could do whatever he wants to do, and he chose not to. And so I have to be okay with that. And so I believe that they were made for that purpose. We are speaking our truth and talking there and speaking their names. But we had talked about when we first I had told him when we first did our transfer that I don't know if I could do another transfer. I cannot go through the trips driving, the emotional ups and downs of the blood work, the hormones from all the medication, the heartbreak of losing another baby. And so we said, once the twins are here, two and done, and we're done. And so ultimately, I believe that if they would have survived, the children that we're meant to have in the future would not be here. And so I truly believe we're meant to have more children in the future that have a purpose that would not have came if the girls would have continued to be on Earth. So that's how I get through my grief. You believe what you believe, that's you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel the same way as well. As much as I hate the phrase, everything happens for a reason,
I've grown to love that phrase. When I first heard that phrase, I literally wanted to cut someone's throat when they told me that in the hospital. Like, everything happens for a reason. I just lost my baby. There's no reason that you can tell me at that point that losing a baby is... No, there's no. But looking back now, I think that things would be so much different, and it happened how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely think something is it's our story.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting that word out. I think that we I don't know if you all saw, but we had the biggest team, 33 people.
Yes.
So that means 33 people were thinking about us when they were signing up, when they were promoting it, when they were sharing it.
Riptar helped with that.
Yes. So you guys getting their name out are the foundation that we attend's name out. Sorry guys, I'm a slow reader.
You want to scroll up a little bit?
See, exactly that exact what Electric Husky. That's exact, because if you wouldn't have had those, then you wouldn't be here. And I have to truly believe then that's what God's purpose is in the future. What happened?
I was trying to scroll.
But
yeah, I mean, it's.
They said I did. Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, when I said that Riptar helped.
Yes.
Because you signed up, you and I believe Nix, possibly
Signing
Zombie,
towards our team. So, yes. So right after we lost the girls, we actually went home on March the 4th. And I remember my sister telling me, this is the day you guys march forth. And I didn't understand it then. And now, looking back, we did. We had to. We had no choice. Here comes the little orderly or transportation to the room. Where's the baby? You ready to go home? Yeah. I don't have a baby. There is no baby. I have a box. You want to carry it? So that was really traumatic when we were going to leave. We actually were placed, and we didn't talk about that. So after the girls were born, I was having a lot of bleeding. We weren't able, like you were doing it, I wasn't able to deliver the placentas, and so I had to go for emergency surgery.
That doctor, because she wasn't able to deliver the placentas, he grabbed the umbilical cords that were still hanging out of her and was pulling on them like he was in a strongman competition trying to pull a semi-truck down the street.
Annabelle died.
I nearly tackled that fucking doctor.
I had bruises from him pushing in his fist in my stomach and pulling.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was I had a pretty traumatic, it's so crazy. I must have been on really good drugs. And that was the other thing, because we were trying to save Carmela. I didn't get like an epidural or anything like that because I didn't want my body to relax so much and like full go on labor. We didn't do a lot of pain medicine. We were trying to like just relax and rest. Google you. Oh my God. And the funny backstory is that the very mother doctor that I did not want to be there was the one that God chose to deliver our girls.
Because
Kaiser only has 9 gynecologists, I want to say. Maybe there's more now, but at the time, 9. And of the 9, he had to be the one on the rotation for us to deliver. So lack of language barrier. He does not speak English. And so his phrases, his terminologies, the way he worded things was very blunt. Blunt. Yes.
And no bedside manner.
No bedside manner. So yeah, after all the tug of war that he tried to play with my uterus, because your body is not meant to release the placenta. You're supposed to be pregnant for 19 more weeks. It doesn't want to let go. It's trying to do what it's supposed to do. So I had to go to emergency surgery. And they do. I swear to you, they are the most expensive student hospital ever.
Yep.
Swear to the yes. I ended up having to have 4 pints of blood.
4 pints of blood, 10 pints of, or 10 units of platelets.
And 20, that's a lot of plasma.
Yeah, a lot.
So I almost died. So when I was coming out of surgery, I didn't know, because I was like so drugged up, that they actually put me on Pitocin to try to get me to deliver the placenta. That medication makes you go into turbo labor. So I was still like in labor when I woke up out of surgery, and I was cramping and I was crying, and I reached out and held his hand, and he was there, and he was just so worried because couldn't do anything. What can you do? So they take me back to the room, and Carmela is still in there. I about had a heart attack. I am like, what is she still doing in here? She needs to be in the freezer.
Because we thought you would want to see her. That's why we decided to keep her in there.
I was like distraught. I was like, put my daughter in the freezer. What are you doing? And so after that, the nurse is that like, we got to make a decision. And you could talk about that part, because I was like drugged up.
Yeah, right after Carmela was born, and passed away, which was, we'll just say 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 39 minutes.
Yeah, so 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night, the nurse comes in and says, here's your options. You can get a hold of these, funeral homes to decide on what you're going to do. Mind you, 2 o'clock in the morning. I had to have a decision made by 10 a.m. on Sunday.
On a Sunday, on a weekend.
So I had to call mortuaries and funeral homes at 2 in the morning to try to find what we were going to do, because they said, oh, if you don't make a decision, we'll just transfer it over to our standard one, and you'll have to pay the transportation fee to move them to wherever you want to, you want your services taken care of.
So they automatically get moved 8 hours after they were deceased. Like, my mind was blown. Like, I could not believe it.
This is a shitty way to deal with someone who just lost their children.
Mm-hmm. So then at that point, we, I don't know why, but we didn't ask to see them again together. And so I get transferred to recovery. I'm literally across the hall, across the way from the nurse's station. And at this hospital, for some reason, I guess when the moms need a break because there's no nursery, they move the baby to the nurse's station for the nurses to take care of them. So I just heard crying babies the whole night after I had lost my baby and them taking care of him. And they want you to walk. So you got to get up and walk and listen to all the crying babies and see all the happy families that have all their babies. And so I told that nurse, if you do not get me out of here, I'm leaving against a medical advice. I don't care. I will sign whatever you have to say. I'm leaving this hospital. I'm not staying here anymore and listening to these babies and watching these happy families. I need out of here. So then that's when the Tweedledee comes in and he's like, where's the baby? It's time to go. And I'm like, there is no baby. Let's go. And so it was just so awkward. And then went home and it was just, that's when the grief begins, I think I only cried a little bit at the hospital. I felt like a bad mom. I was just like,
you were just so drugged up.
I was so numb. I literally could not believe that this was my life. Like, it was like when you're that high, I guess, on medication, you don't know it's like a real world.
And that is true, Doc. There really is a lot of heartless paper pushing.
Yeah.
Especially in hospitals. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Drugged up, huge amounts of shock.
Yeah, and it just happened so fast. I know it happened like over 3 or 4 days, but it was just like I said, we had so much hope. It was like the rug getting ripped out from under you, and you just truly could not believe that this is what happened to you and this is your life.
Right.
And I had morning sickness all the way up until I gave birth to them. It was not until the next day that I realized that the morning sickness was gone. So the day after I got home, so probably March 5th. And I was so upset. Do you remember me being I was so upset that I wasn't
I don't have
sick.
Morning sickness.
I was so upset that I wasn't sick anymore because that truly meant to me that they were not in my body. Being so overweight and how early they were, we didn't feel the kicks and all of that, having anterior placenta, all of that. I felt rolls around and things like that, but not kicks. And so the hormones being gone out of my body, it was like a huge wake-up call that they actually really were gone. But we had so much support after that. We had friends and family and classmates and coworkers did 30 days of meal train for us. So for 30 days, we did not have to think about what we were going to eat, what we were, and then they would send such huge portions that we would literally eat it for like breakfast and lunch the next day. So we didn't think about meals for literally the first month after we lost them.
And that's very true, Jasmine. They do need some sort of infant loss ribbon on the door so they know.
I want to say, which my brain is floggy, when I left, there was like a butterfly or something on the door, like noting, but do you remember? Was there?
I think there was.
Some sort of note, but he just like went right past it and didn't even realize it. So my coworkers ended up donating, what was it, 350
hours
PTO hours, which my coworkers make starting around $15 to $25 an hour. So 300 and they equate it to my salary. So we had a lot of time. I had a lot of time off.
So after which luckily, in the state of California, they still counted it as FMLA of like the childbirth, which was the 6 weeks.
Yeah, I got 6 weeks.
And then after the 6 weeks, you were able to use that PTO to have extra time off.
Mm-hmm. We had funds donated to us, so we were able to pay for our urn and have them cremated.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much support. I love it. Every time I see it, I just love it.
I'll bring them up closer to the camera in a little bit. So after that, I was back to work after like 6 days, which was ridiculous. Because
men don't get time off. Men don't have time to grieve.
We get the baby bonding time. If the baby is born, we get 6 weeks. But my company has a bereavement thing, which is $3, 3 days of paid time off when you lose a family member. Well, luckily, I mean, not luckily, but luckily they decided to say, okay, it was 2 separate family members, so you do get 6 days off. So they gave me 6 paid days off, and then I had to go back to work because I still got to make money. And, you know, I could have probably gone on like depression FMLA, but I would have been on disability pay at that point, which is like 60% of our salary. And we just couldn't afford that, even though you were on that at that point. So we just couldn't afford both of us going to 60% off, or 60% of our salary. And so, you know, went back to work, and we started talking about getting support. Like, do we want to do one-on-one therapy sessions, you know, just us and a therapist? Do we want to do group support? And we were like, no, we don't want to do groups. We don't want to hear other people's stories.
I am usually such an empath. Like, I feel people's emotions. I still do, but it's different now. I don't. But when I first lost them, I truly could not think that I could feel sorry for another person. Like, I felt like at that point I had already dealt with infertility for over 15 years. We had already spent over $10,000. I just felt like life is not fair and this already sucks. So I cannot imagine listening to other people tell me about their accidental pregnancy of their 4th child. Like, in that spot, I could not go.
And so we reached out to Kaiser, and, you know, I called them and said,
they're gonna sue us for slander.
That's not slander, because we have proof, all of this. You're the same way with empathy, pick up too strongly in emotions. You can imagine being in a group of people sharing their stories. Well, again, that's what we felt. We'll get there. But, you know, I called them, I said, hey, I need to come in for depression therapy for loss, because we lost our children, and my wife wants to come along too. So we basically want to have us as a couple come in and talk to a therapist about loss.
Couples grief counseling.
Exactly. And so we go in for intake, and they talk to us like it was straight couples counseling. They ask her a question, she gives us answer. They ask the exact same question that she already gave an answer to, like the person wasn't even listening. And then
I was so mad that day. I was telling a story about the girl's death, and then she would ask a question like, do you have kids?
And then ask a question about your past, your history, how we're doing.
Hormones
with each
are
other.
Crazy, and I'm crazy already. And so that lady almost died, and she didn't even know.
And then we go to therapy. We go talk to a therapist now, and the therapist is asking about our marriage and how we're doing and everything like that. And it's like, well, you know, we're not really here to talk about that. We're here to talk about grief. And she's like, oh, let me go get my grief paperwork.
It's like one piece of paper.
Yeah, it's literally just like one. That's not it, but it was one piece of paper. Here's what I have to talk about grief. And she had to dig through.
Because it's my
yeah,
proof.
she had to dig through like 3 different binders to find her one piece of paper on grief. When the entire point of us going was to go for grief. So we're like, okay,
never again.
Fuck it. We're done with therapy. Let's find group stuff. And we found, like, you know, there was a group in town that had people that dealt with child loss. So we went and went to that group. It was okay. It was good. You know, we definitely
I didn't struggle with empathy, like depression, really bad. Like I felt like we were all in a different place, so I didn't feel like I took on their emotions. So
yeah,
it was
because
like, I think I could do this.
Almost all of them, their kids were adults when they lost them. One of them lost them in the Las Vegas shootings. One of them, you know, they were all adults. So
a drunk driver.
Yeah, so it was different.
Accident.
It was a different type of child loss, not infant loss. So, I mean, yes, it was still loss, and all loss is valid, but it wasn't, we never clicked with that group. Really.
Yeah.
And so then there was a group with Kaiser that was run by a social worker, and that, to me, felt like a better loss group. And it still wasn't focused on infant loss. There definitely was a couple people in there that had infant loss, but there was some person that lost their husband. There was a person that lost their wife. There was, you know, parents. It wasn't just children. This was just family loss or grief. It was a grief.
And then the
group.
social worker was really good about saying, like, how this loss is different, but it's still the same as yours because of, and she had really good examples, and she could switch it around, not switch it around like to change the way you're saying, but she could make everyone feel included. And it was a really good. It was like a 2-hour session, and we'd end up going to almost like 2.5 hours, and we would end up having to stop because the next group was coming in. So we were having good conversation, good crying, good getting those emotions out, and then Kaiser decided that it wasn't a financial thing for them, and it wasn't feasible, and they canceled it for all of Southern California.
Yeah, all of Southern California's grief groups, we're not going to have them anymore because...
They didn't cancel any other groups. They didn't cancel the smoking groups. They didn't cancel
only the groups.
Weight loss groups. They only canceled the grief groups, and we were distraught. We just didn't know what we were going to do, and so that was when our sister-in-law...
Yeah, no, it's absolutely is dumb. Anyone who runs Kaiser Permanente for Southern California.
Oh my god, it was horrible. We have a love-hate with them.
Exactly. Paper pushing the money. There was one point after that happened, we went down to Kaiser. Oh, it was when you had when you had your surgery?
Or one of my procedures.
One of your procedures, we went down there, and they, the mental health department, the psychiatric department of Kaiser were picketing.
Do you remember when Kaiser was picketing, guys? And so we were down there, and we had talked to them and took pictures with them, and I said my little piece about them because they have they spend all this money on their mental health marketing, but they will not...
We're there for you.
They are not there for you. I'm just letting you know they are not there for you. So our sister-in-law is involved in prenatal yoga and which I can't even think of what it's called right now. Anyhow, so she saw the flyer for the foundation that we are always talking about now. And so then we reached out to the Noelle Alexandria Foundation and started joining the support groups.
Yeah.
At that time, the support groups were different. It was once a month, and it was topic-based. So they kind of had like talking points, or they had a speaker. They had like a nutritionist come in.
Activities for us to do.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk about the nutritionist thing.
Yeah. So then that was we started. What one was it? I don't even remember.
I think we started
September.
I think so. I think it was
September
in
2019.
2019, yeah.
And then we had the run.
The first run.
The first run.
Well, it was the second annual run.
It was their second annual, but our first time joining, which was in 2019. And so we just barely learned about it. We got a couple families and friends, and so that year is when this year, to turn into this year, 2020, is when we started doing it twice a month. And so this year it's more support group, talking about different topics that you want to talk about, different triggers you've had, different holidays or events or things that are coming up, things that you want to talk through. But yes, I can only imagine, and I've heard nightmare stories about the Army hospitals and their mental health. So I don't want to compare. Yeah, I don't want to compare Kaiser and the Army, but I mean, they care about the same.
Yeah. So we joined that group. They were doing a 5K. We're like, we're absolutely going to do it. Running with the Angels. You were wanting to get the largest team. We had I think 8 people,
9.
Whatever, 8 or 9 people that year, which felt great to us. We had 8 or 9 people wanting to support us. We went out, did the 5K. We did about a mile.
I was going to say, we did not do the 5K.
We made it probably
1K, maybe 1K.
And walked right back to the start. We're like, yep, nope, we can't do this.
I'm like, it was horrible. Horrible. That was the one thing I didn't talk about, is after I lost the girls, I went into a deep depression, and I literally sat either in my bed or on the couch for 10 weeks, and it busted my knees up. So remember, I slipped and fell. When I was pregnant, they didn't want to do anything about it. They didn't do any x-rays or anything. They're just like, once you're not pregnant, we'll deal with your knees. And then sitting and being depressed for 10 weeks blew my knees out.
No, it was 1K including the walk back.
Yeah. Yes, so we did do a 2K. You are right. But this year, yes, we did get the biggest team. We had 33 people, which I said on my Facebook. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but that was how old I was when I lost the girls, was 33. So
it was a nice number.
It was a nice little wink at them. But
yeah, so this year, last year the 5K was a cool experience. It was really, really neat.
It was really emotional.
It was extremely emotional with
I had depression so bad.
Trinity went up. But yeah, you were telling your story about your knees. Your knees messed up and everything like that, so you're just hurting so bad. Yeah. It's still not great,
but it's better than what last year.
But it's better. And so this year we're like, okay, we're gonna finish it this year. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get the biggest team. Mm-hmm. And so we pushed the biggest team. We walked like probably 2-3 times a week at like a mile at a time just to get used to walking.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay. It looks like our average pace is like 23-ish minutes. So let's say we finish in an hour and a half and knocked it, you did an hour 15, I did an hour 19 this year. Most of you were with me on the stream while I streamed the entire walk, which was so much fun.
Yes, thank you. And then we had all of our cheerleaders. We had the Dino family cheering us at the end. It was so awesome.
Next time, more dancing. Yes, well, next time I'll know where the music cues are, so I'll actually do some dancing.
It was beautiful. The weather was beautiful. The area is beautiful. But we had, I don't know if you guys had it on your end, but we had horrible signal issues. I tried to go live on my page. It did. I'm glad it looked amazing. I struggled. I don't know.
Yeah, zombie came in near the end.
None of this would have happened if you would just listen to me.
Oh, was this one again?
I even cared you'd actually be here. Oh my god.
I need to fix that because I don't know why it stays up for so long. You're okay because then you're hiding. I feel like
nobody's watching me.
My wife is a singer too. If while that's still up there, okay, if we can convince her. If we can convince her before December 31st when it goes away to do a Twitch sing stream.
He wants me to sing to you guys.
I want her to do a Twitch sing stream because she sings so good. But yes, Twitch Sings Night. I want her to do it, but it goes away on December 31st.
He's literally been asking me and then telling me about this deadline.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
So...
Thank you.
Thank you, Spiller.
We'll have to try it out.
But yeah, so now, this year, where we're at as far as, emotionally, we can be queens. As we're definitely much more open about everything.
I don't think last year it wasn't that we weren't open. It was just anytime we talked about it, it was so raw that it was just bubbly crying mess.
Yeah.
And this year, it's still there. I calm it down, but I can still talk through it. Last year, I could not talk through it. It was too much.
And we actually, we went through our entire story pretty much today, which was emotional.
Yeah, so where we are now, we're to finish. Sorry. We have an appointment in less than 2 weeks to start round 3.
Yep. So we have a phone appointment on October 27th.
Yeah,
to talk to the doctor.
See what his plan is.
About starting round 3 of IVF. So that's definitely something. We have some stuff. And it's funny the little things we go through. Like, we'll see little things.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yes, absolutely. You will find little leaves on the ground. You'll see little birds and we think it's the girls. I went to Target yesterday to go get another lamp for a little more lighting here because, as you see, she's not completely lit. But I saw this, which, if you guys don't know...
Jasmine, you need it. Come on, girl. It's clouds and a rainbow. It's at Target.
$15 at Target. It's a little LED light or little neon light that, if you don't know, when someone loses a baby and then the next baby they have after it is called a rainbow baby. So that's why... and I just saw this on the side. Did you look at this? Look.
Oh, it says every storm brings a rainbow,
which is adorable.
How cute.
Mrs. Ain't lit. What's the matter?
Oh no,
I'm saying lighting.
Do you need a rainbow? We'll mail you one. Where are you at?
Zombies in Canada, I believe.
Okay, we'll make it happen.
So yes, I'm actually opening these up on stream. We've also got, oh wow. We've also got some candles that one of our fellow group members made. These are fantastic
mustard seeds,
soybean candles, and I actually have a link to her Etsy here. Her candles are all, she prays over every single one of her candles.
They're soy
based, so they burn longer. They don't stain. It's actually a lot bigger tin I expected.
This looks dangerous. He looks like he's gonna break something.
But yeah, this is I don't think there's batteries in it. I don't think it comes with batteries, but it's battery powered or USB powered. So let me plug it in. Yeah, there's no batteries with it. But yes, please go check out. Send you the measurements for the base of the little angel sculpture, and you'll make a rotating LED base that changes colors, shining at the angels.
Oh wow! Thank you.
I will. It's that. Crinkle. It's like I'm eating.
I'm triggered.
Chips.
I'm triggered.
It's. Hey, wait. We're doing an ASMR stream. Listen, guys.
This guy. I'm married.
Do you want to grab the girls? Or you want me to grab the girls? I'll grab the girls. Now it's on thing. Plug it in behind my meds. Give me 1 second, yo. Zombies, no ASMR.
I don't want to hear that either.
Switch on the bottom with it. Oh, wow. So you kind of can't tell the colors because of, camera and lighting. But yeah, that's actually really nice. Oh, there you go.
What's
it's
make
darker.
It better?
And there's nothing that's going to make it better. But it does light up. The camera does not light the lamp. No, it's fine. But that's actually really nice. Yeah, it's just because it's light directly on the camera. Oh! We've got another subscriber. Thank you, Cody. The colors actually look really good in real life. Oh, if it's USB, it's always going to be on. So,
but it's white. There's no color. It's inside there.
Yeah, it's LEDs. So this is the urn that the girls are in. It has their nameplates here.
So yeah, would you still be able to do that?
So
anything?
Hold that real quick. So that's the urn, and then this is the little thing on top of the urn that has the 2 angel babies inside, and it's got a little wood base on the bottom of it. So I don't know what measurement you want, but we'll figure it out. Gotta get the rainbow. You need all the luck.
Yes.
You need. But yeah, saw that at Target, $15. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
They're asking how the color looked. It was bright.
Oh yeah, the colors look really good. They're pretty. You'll sketch something up because you didn't know the urn was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we just have the urn. We keep we keep this on top of.
If your baby dies, this is what they will give you.
A little label.
It's like the last thing. And so we never tell the story about her name. How she got her name.
Oh yes, so as we had decided that it was just going to be Amelia May, and because of all that paperwork that needed to sign, she didn't want to name it Amelia Ethel May. But at that point, you decided when she was born, you just looked at me and says, I want to name her Amelia Ethel May, because of the fact that A, you wouldn't have to fill out all the paperwork, but B, just in honor of the grandparents at that point.
And we were only going to get to write her name so many different times. Yeah. Like, there's only so much. Hospital paperwork, death certificate, aww.
Thank you for the follow, Jasmine.
Thank you. All of the, cremation stuff, you get to write the name out, but there's very few times, and I will never forget the time when we were filling out the paperwork and it asked what my relationship was to the babies, and I wrote mother, and I just broke down. I've never been a mother. So always what I ever wanted to be. Aww.
I love you.
I love you. So that was hard. It's still hard even thinking about it today, but that's how she got her name, because we wanted to honor our parents and grandparents, and it wasn't going to be too many times of having to write that long name.
But yeah, so
thank you guys for watching and supporting us and listening to us for 2 hours.
Did it feel like 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Because your stories are so long.
So, because Jasmine wants to see the beans, we've had 6 subs today.
Woo! I'm scared.
So I
don't want to eat a bean.
6 beans.
I don't want to eat a bean.
And this is a bean dispenser, so I don't know what ones are going to come up.
She said, wait.
Wait. Pause. Split them 50-50. Baby, do you want to eat evil beans?
I don't want to eat an old bean. I'm scared.
She gets it. Oh my god. There's another 5. So that's 11 beans?
I don't wanna. You guys are
Riptar,
awesome.
you're amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7.
I already lost 2 kids. Isn't that enough for you?
8.
That was total joke.
9, 10. I missed what you said, sorry.
I said, I already lost 2 kids. Isn't that enough for you?
Wow. Again, dark humor. Dark humor. Alright, baby, I'll tell you what. Are you gonna be giving a hard no to trying any of these?
I'm scared.
Let's pull for all dead fish. You had to go there. You totally understand dark humor. She pulled that card, right? Right? Okay. So let me separate these and see what we've got.
These look scary.
They are scary. We've got 3 that are either toothpaste or berry. Blueberry. We've got 2 that are either canned dog food or chocolate. We've got 2 that are either Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks.
Say no.
We've got 1 that is either dirty dishwater or birthday cake. We've got
you
1
guys, this is
that is either
no.
spoiled milk or coconut. We've got 1 that is dead fish or strawberry smoothie. And we've got 1 that is either barf or peach. Good luck, have fun. When I explain these. Okay, so I'm gonna give you making your day. You want no, I'm not gonna do that to her. I'm not gonna do that to her.
You guys are mean.
The dead fish, it might be strawberry. Who knows? This one is either birthday cake or dirty dishwater.
You're mean.
This one's for you.
Why is that one mine?
Because I've done all these.
I don't want to
And you could rinse it out with a blue one, which is either blueberry or toothpaste, so it's mint.
No.
No?
No, that's not birthday cake. That's dirty water.
Oh, wow, it is.
I know.
If you want to smell the rest
I already
of them,
know.
you can smell them.
Mm-mm.
She has a great nose. It's either berry.
This one's mint.
Okay, so that's toothpaste. Oh,
Ugh.
she's squeezing them. And that is definitely dishwater. Okay. This one, is that mint?
Yeah, it's helping your breath.
Don't. So, okay, you can save these for later. That's not, no, don't, those are rinse. Don't give me the mint ones first. What's wrong with you? That tastes like toothpaste.
Ugh.
So,
It smells just like toothpaste, too.
smell this one. It's
is
either
it?
strawberry banana or dead fish, which smells like tuna.
Yeah. Oh. Smells like a vitamin. It smells exactly like a vitamin.
Okay?
No.
This one is either peach or barf, which to me both suck.
You just said peach sucks.
Yes.
Oh, no. No, no, that smell.
I'm about to suffer.
No.
Coconut or spoiled milk?
You guys, these are all bad. These are all
The
bad.
last batch I thought were all good, but I think the Coke or the
What is that one?
Either-
That one's rotten milk.
okay, that's rotten milk. These two are
You guys.
Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks.
That was the one. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was Tutti Frutti.
I will throw up. You guys.
What, the Stinky Sock one?
Period. He said to try one without trying one.
Just try one. That one was Tutti Frutti. You gave me the good one. These last two are either canned dog food or chocolate pudding.
I'm sorry.
No?
I'll send you a check.
Can you do one of those?
I'll send your money back.
Can you do one of these?
I ain't doing those.
I'm doing them all.
Together?
Do you want me to do them all at once or separately?
Send me a bill. I'm not doing it.
Yes, all at once. Okay. All except for the blue. No, fuck it. All of them. All together. All right. Got a handful of them.
Separate.
Nah.
Together.
Doc says separate. They're all together. Okay, see that?
They're all bad.
Handful.
I'm telling you, they're bad. Mm-mm. I must have given him the good one earlier.
Ah!
No.
Jasmine's about to pee her pants.
You guys, I need to go to the bathroom, and he's about to make me. Yeah. You guys.
Don't smell my breath.
He smells like vitamins. Ugh.
Hi, baby. I love you, son.
You guys.
There went.
Here, have a licorice.
Okay. I would rather have that right now than these. Good news is.
No.
Eh.
Here comes the faces.
Eh.
It is nasty. I'm sorry. I'm not even tasting it. I'm just smelling it and I'm going to throw up.
Ah. Okay, so. You need to go to the bathroom, baby.
The girls are watching.
The girls are enjoying it. Hello! Well, we're gonna end tonight. If you guys have some questions, feel free to ask. We're happy to answer any questions. That is what we're here for. Is do a Q&A. If you don't have any questions.
But all we've done is A.
A.
Well.
A.
Oh.
I'm gonna see who is live right now. We're gonna go over and give some love to them. Oh my. Hey, just an FYI, as of right now, I hope so. Probably. As of right now, I am 5 subs away from unlocking another emote.
Woohoo!
Or the last emote for affiliates, which is freaking amazing. But let's see. Let's go back to Twitch. Let's see who's live. Riptar.
Are you sure? I think... Oh, God.
Oh! Monran did. I shouldn't have said it.
Ah, you're so nice.
Hang on. Let Nix, Bolo Boy, Spooky, Papa Bear. Who got him from Riptars? I didn't even see that. Pontifex.
You're way past it now.
Tin the Mets fan, Elo Grinds, Sionesis. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm at 50 sub points. So I get 5 licorices now.
Ugh.
Baby, hand me 5 of those licorices.
Oh, Lord. I hope there's,
salt candy.
Ugh. Hope there's 5 in here.
Well, what?
Oh, there's not 5 in here.
Well, whatever's left. She won't. She doesn't eat black licorice.
There's 4.
Okay, well, I'm doing 4. No, that's too much of double salt. But one serving size is 12 pieces, so it's fine. But yes, there's only 4 left.
So if he dies from black licorice overdose...
There's no salt in the bag. It's got sodium... What is it? Ammonium chlorate. There's no salt in the bag.
It's not salted on the outside. It's salt in
and a bean for good luck. Eat the salt as the 5th one.
There's no salt in it. It's
okay.
in it.
What bean?
Oh, God.
Oh, it's look. 2 candies, bean, 2
Cammy Simmons.
Guess what?
I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm at 50 subs, which means I have another emote slot locked. Yay! Oh, now my lighting's all fucked. What? Okay, look at what bean came out. It's a blue one. 2 licorice, a bean, and 2 licorice. You're down to 3. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay. So, mint is not good with salty licorice. 3 subs because your laptop worked. That's okay. You'll get more. You're amazing, zombie. My lighting got darker when she went away. That's so weird. Is this not up? It is. I don't know. This is almost an ASMR stream now. Baby, the reason it got darker when you went away is because you're the light of my life. Baby.
You dying?
I'm suffering.
I'm sorry. Oh, man. I want you to click on this one.
What?
And I want to know what that is.
Buddy group. My wife.
I'm just saying.
What?
So
Are
we done? Are they going? We're going to raid someone else?
We're gonna go raid somebody. I'm still suffering from these things, by the way.
The solution.
We haven't ate today. I'm still fasting.
No. Well, I've eaten today.
Now he's 8.
Trying to decide. Gordy, Papa Bear. I do have a stream Discord, which I'm going to say some things right now. But yes, you can join Mon and I in our Discord. You can also follow me on my Twitter. God damn it, Monran.
Is that supposed to say, do you know or do you now?
What?
On that Discord.
Why? What's it say?
Do you now?
Did you know? You do now. Yes. So I have Twitter. I have MySpace.
MySpace?
You can unfollow the... Yes, I have a MySpace. Look. MySpace. MySpace. That's it. You should get a MySpace, baby. But, also... You're going to go get a MySpace. No, MySpace is actually kind of cool. Also, you can follow us, How Baby Bruce Got Here. That is our story on Facebook, if you have Facebook. If you have Instagram, please follow my wife on Instagram. She is always giving stories.
Oh, I think it's not that I'm going to divorce him. I think it's now I'm going to go stalk who's over there talking to him today.
I show... Look. T-San Buddy Group.
Sir.
Ma'am.
We're talking about what we're talking about.
Also, the Noel Alexandria Foundation. Please go check them out.
Yes, so we are doing Zoom right now due to COVID.
Every first and third Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it's not just child loss, infant loss, it's miscarriage, it's embryo loss, it's infertility, struggles. All of us, we're there for you. Yeah.
Yes. So...
No horseback riding for us.
No horseback.
I got 7 mosquito bites and we were only out there an hour.
I have 5. Yes, Riptar is a very generous person.
Thank you for being a
friend. Thank you very much for the follow, and thank you for being a friend. I appreciate it. So we're going to go raid.
It's a boy. It's a girl.
Go ahead!
It's
a madness.
It's zombie. We are actually going to go drop a raid off on Canadian Papa Bear, who is playing Donkey Kong Country. Let me see which one. But yes, as Monran and my bot said so many times,
we get to go to the
I have Discord, I have Twitter. Oh, not shout out. Raid. They're... What are you doing?
What is that? We're gonna die.
We're
Just kidding.
Monran, is that how you feel when you eat Capigen? We're gonna die. Yes. Alright, so we're gonna go drop a raid on Canadian Papa Bear. He is currently retro gaming, playing Donkey Kong Country. So let's go give him some love. Tell him he's amazing.
This wheel's spinning. We're just gonna keep going.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
You echo with your alert. It's probably an echo because it's playing through speakers. Yes, go enjoy the wedding.
Thank you
Cody.
for listening to us.
And thank you, everybody. I'll be back on Monday, 7 o'clock. I'll see you then.